The Vedic period marks a significant epoch in ancient Indian history, spanning roughly from 1500 to 500 BCE. It is named after the Vedas, a collection of sacred texts that provide invaluable insights into the life beliefs and practices of the time. This era witnessed the arrival of Indo-Aryan tribes into the Indian subcontinent, their interactions with indigenous populations, and the gradual development of a distinct Indo-Aryan culture. The Vedic period is crucial for understanding the roots of Hinduism, the caste system, and various philosophical traditions that continue to shape India today. It was a formative period, laying the groundwork for the subcontinent's future social, religious, and political landscape. The Vedic period is broadly categorized into two phases: the early Vedic period, from about 1500 to 1000 BCE, and the later Vedic period from around 1000 to 500 BCE. The early Vedic period is characterized by pastoral lifestyles, tribal structures, and the composition of the earliest Vedic hymns. The later Vedic period witnessed a shift towards settled agriculture, the emergence of more complex social hierarchies, and the development of new religious ideas and practices. This period saw the expansion of Indo-Aryan influence across the Gangetic plains, leading to further cultural and social transformations. The Vedic period, therefore, represents a dynamic era of transition and development, marking the genesis of key cultural and societal elements that would come to define ancient India. It was a time when the foundations of a civilization were laid, setting the stage for the emergence of powerful empires and sophisticated philosophical schools of thought in the centuries to come. The echoes of the Vedic period continue to resonate in modern India, underscoring its enduring legacy and shaping the nation's identity and heritage. Vedic society was initially organized along tribal lines, with kinship ties playing a central role in social interactions and governance. Families formed the basic unit of society, and several families constituted a clan or tribe led by a chief. Over time, a more hierarchical social structure emerged, stratified into four main classes, or varnas brahmanas, who were priests and scholars; kshatriyas, the warriors and rulers; vaishyas, the merchants and farmers; and shudras, the laborers and artisans. This division, known as the varna system, was based on occupation and birth, and would later evolve into the more rigid caste system. The economy of the Vedic period was initially pastoral, with cattle rearing playing a vital role. Cattle were a measure of wealth and were central to many rituals and sacrifices. As the Indo-Aryans gradually transitioned to settled agriculture, particularly in the later Vedic period, land became an increasingly important resource and contributed to the growing significance of agriculture in the economy. Villages emerged as centers of agricultural production, and specialized crafts and trade began to develop, fostering economic interdependence among different social groups. Family played a crucial role in Vedic society, with patriarchal households being the norm. The father or the eldest male member held considerable authority within the family. While the women's roles were largely confined to the domestic sphere, certain female deities were revered, and some women even composed Vedic hymns, indicating a degree of agency and respect accorded to women in certain contexts. The Vedic period witnessed the gradual evolution of social structures, laying the groundwork for more complex social hierarchies and economic systems that would characterize later Indian societies. At the heart of Vedic culture lay the Vedas, a collection of sacred hymns, prayers, and rituals that formed the bedrock of religious life. The most ancient and important of these texts is the Rig Veda, comprising over 1,000 hymns dedicated to various deities. Other Vedic texts include the Samaveda, a collection of melodies for singing the hymns; the Yajur Veda, containing prose mantras and sacrificial formulas; and the Atharva Veda, a compilation of hymns and spells for everyday life. The Vedas were composed and transmitted orally for centuries before being written down, reflecting the oral tradition that characterized early Indo-Aryan culture. Rituals and sacrifices, known as yajnas, formed an integral part of Vedic religious practice. These elaborate ceremonies, often involving offerings to the gods, were believed to maintain cosmic order and secure divine favor. Fire played a central role in these rituals, serving as a medium of communication between humans and the divine. The Vedas also provide insights into the cosmology and beliefs of the time. The Indo-Aryans worshipped a pantheon of gods, including Indra, the god of thunder and war, Agni, the fire god, Surya, the sun god, and Ushas, the goddess of dawn. These deities represented various natural forces and phenomena and were invoked through hymns, prayers, and offerings. The Vedic people spoke Sanskrit, an Indo-European language that would become the classical language of ancient India and a source of many modern Indian languages. Sanskrit was not only the language of religious texts, but also of literature, philosophy, and political discourse in later centuries. The development and spread of Sanskrit played a vital role in unifying diverse communities across the Indian subcontinent, fostering a shared cultural and intellectual identity. Through its sacred texts, rituals, and language, the Vedic period laid the foundations for Hinduism, one of the world's oldest and most enduring religions. The Vedic period was characterized by a decentralized political structure with power distributed among numerous tribal kingdoms or janas. These janas were ruled by chiefs known as rajas, who were responsible for maintaining law and order, leading in war, and conducting religious ceremonies. The raja's authority was not absolute and was often tempered by councils of elders and assemblies known as sabhas and samitis. These assemblies provided a platform for deliberation and decision-making, showcasing early forms of participatory governance within Vedic society. As janas competed for resources and territory, some powerful rajas emerged as overlords, extending their influence over neighboring tribes. This led to the rise of larger kingdoms known as Mahajanapadas, literally meaning great kingdoms, towards the end of the Vedic period. These Mahajanapadas marked a shift from tribal polities to more centralized and territorial states, paving the way for the emergence of empires in subsequent centuries. The concept of kingship gradually evolved, with kings seeking divine sanction for their rule and performing elaborate rituals to legitimize their authority. Warfare was an integral aspect of Vedic society as janas fought for control over cattle, land, and other resources. Chariots, driven by skilled charioteers, played a significant role in warfare, providing speed and mobility on the battlefield. The Vedas contain vivid descriptions of battles highlighting the importance of military prowess and the valorization of warriors in Vedic culture. The evolution of political structures, from tribal chiefdoms to larger kingdoms, reflects the changing dynamics of power and authority in the Vedic period, setting the stage for the rise of more complex political systems in ancient India